All right, so now we welcome for the first time two guests on Johnny on the Track. They are the co-hosts of the Fast Lap podcast, available on all streaming platforms. They are Nicole and Chrissi Luttrell. Chrissi, thank you so much for coming on Johnny on the Track.
You're welcome. It's nice to
Hello, of course.
Yes, this
Thanks
is going to be great. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. Like I said, we were talking before, and I'm a big fan. There's not a lot. There should be more, but there's not a lot of female NASCAR podcasts out there. So to hear and listen to your perspective is awesome. And that's a reason I wanted to get you two on. So let's get right into it.
Okay.
So I want to start, how did both of you become NASCAR fans? And then on top of that, how did you two meet and decide, let's start a freaking podcast?
Basically, that's kind of how it went. I had the idea for the podcast, and that's kind of how it went when I pitched it to Deb. But to start with your the beginning of your question, Deb has a little bit more history with the NASCAR fandom, so I'll let her go first, and then I can go after her.
Okay, so I've been a NASCAR fan since forever. I can't remember when I wasn't. It was kind of a me and my dad thing. We would watch races together every Sunday. We'd usually go like shoot guns or like go hiking or whatever, and then we would come home and watch the race. So I can't remember not being a fan.
That's awesome.
So that's one of those things, like, people are like, can you pinpoint it? And I'm like, absolutely not. Like,
I'm the same way though. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. I actually am more recent to NASCAR. I started out with drag racing and being a fan of that kind of motorsports. My brother is a couple years older than me, and he got into Mustangs, and then I was like, oh, I want one too, even though my first car was a Firebird, but it was cool. And I went to the drag strip, our local drag strip, Orlando Speed World, every weekend with him. We hung out in his friends' garages on the weekends. Like, I had my own friends, but I also spent a lot of time with his friends, and they all became my friends, and we all just hung out together. And we used to go to car shows and, like I said, the drag strip every weekend. I ran the drag strip a couple times for fun. It was never anything super exciting. I think in my Cobra I ran a 12.8, and that was the fastest I went.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I've been into motorsports. And then I was introduced to NASCAR through my husband. I mean, I've seen my dad watch a couple races, but he usually put them on for naps. And I became a Chase fan because I have family in Atlanta, and actually the town that they live in, that I used to live in, is the town right next to Dawsonville. So it's kind of like local for me. And I watched his race where he won the Xfinity Championship, and I was like, oh, that dude's from Atlanta. All right, I like that guy. So
okay. But how did you two meet? Have you guys known each other for forever, or was this kind of like,
No.
Tell me that.
no.
We've known each other, I think, a year. Are we officially friends a year now? Oh my God, happy 1 year anniversary.
Look at that. Johnny on the Track.
Like, I don't know that we can count it because we were maybe Twitter followers for a year.
We followed each other, and then she approached me. She did an article about female fans in NASCAR, and I had a similar idea because I was writing for my friend Rob Pyoungson at the Podium Finish, and I was kind of thinking of doing something similar. She reached out to me for comment. I gave her comment. I have to throw her under the bus because she never used my comment, and I gave her crap for it, and that's kind of how it broke the ice.
Deb.
It broke the ice because I was like giving her a hard time, and she's like, "No, I'm going to do a second part, and I'm going to include you," and she still didn't. So, but it's funny because it's like kind of how it started our friendship. So then we just kind of talked back and forth about it, and I was like, "Whatever, it's fine. Like, I really don't care. I just like to give her crap about it because it's the thing." And we were talking, and I was like, I've always wanted to do something. I thought maybe a blog, because I had all this racing experience and like going to the tracks and having kids, and like, what can I do with all this information? There's other fans out there that might need this information, but I can't sit down and just like spend that much time putting a blog together. And I was like, I like talking. So I was like, maybe a podcast. So I literally messaged her. I was like, you want to do a podcast? She's like, okay. And that's how it started.
That is amazing. And that just shows you like what Twitter and social media, how much of an impact it actually has had on people that, you complete strangers want to start a podcast. Hell yeah.
It's literally.
We still haven't met.
No. And that's actually,
really? Okay.
The next thing is, instead of just, you want to start a podcast, it then became, you want to just like share a house together for a week? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do in Charlotte.
Things escalate quickly with us. It's never like, oh, maybe we should weigh the pros and cons. Like, maybe we should talk about this. It's like, you want to do this? Yeah. And
there's nothing wrong with that, Deb. There's nothing wrong with, going for something. And that's I'm exactly the same way. Like, I'm like, I want to start something and I'm going to do it. And I usually rush it, to be honest. I'm sure you two are the same way. I mean, rush it and get it out there. But I don't know. I've just really enjoyed getting to meet people and hearing different perspectives and all that. And, finding fans from wherever they are. It's cool to, link up, chat, and share. So let's go a little bit more in your podcast. So, like I said, there's not a lot of female NASCAR podcasts. There's just not. And that's why I appreciate you two sharing your own perspective, sharing your thoughts. How important do you both think it is to have female perspectives on the sport of NASCAR?
I'll let you go first because I did a lot of talking. Sorry.
I think it's important, and it's not because we're females, but because there's so many other female fans.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes our voices aren't necessarily heard, or they're heard and they're not given a lot of credit because we're females, and people either think that we're watching because the drivers are attractive, or they think that we, just aren't into it, or we're into it because our partners are into it. And that's not the case. And hopefully we're doing an okay job of showing others that, like, we do have opinions, they are valid, and that, we're showing that other girls have that same passion. It's not just, I'm the only NASCAR female fan. There's a ton of us who are really serious about the sport. And that's kind of where we got the idea to do the live female fan thing, was because we want other women to feel just as welcomed into the sport as we feel like we've been so far.
Absolutely.
To talk to people that they might not get a chance to talk to.
Yeah.
That's it too, is it's huge because, for Deb growing up in NASCAR and me kind of growing up in NHRA and then coming over to NASCAR and kind of being all over the place, there was always, you always have that feeling when people see you at a race, like you're just there because you were dragged there. You weren't there because you were like, yeah, let's go. I'm sorry, give me a second, Ronan.
Yeah, take your time.
The video.
That's your son?
That's Ronan.
Sorry, my kid is rocking in a seat right here, and he's pushing the table that my computer is on. So I had to yell at him.
That is all right.
Sorry. But no, it's true. And people look at you, like Deb said, and they think that you're clueless, or that you don't care about the actual like depth of NASCAR. You're just like, oh yay, cars. Oh yay, he's cute. Oh, this and that. And it's like, no, that's like, yeah, that's like a thing that exists in NASCAR. Yeah, they've got the people that are they're all good looking dudes, good for them, but it's like, that's not what drew me in or drew Deb in, or a lot of these female fans. And yes, there's a share out there that do that, but they own it. They're proud. They're proud to be the fangirls, and they admit it, and that's great for them. That's what makes them happy. But for them, they also care about the sport, because if you talk to those girls, a lot of them are just as passionate. They just are passionate about a couple different things. And that's fine. Whatever makes them happy. It's just, if you're watching the sport and you're enjoying it and you're happy, that's all that matters. You're buying, we buy from the sponsors, we support them. So having us out there is kind of like Deb said, we wanted to be a place where female fans can feel welcome and know that, there's others out there like them that hear their voice, and we do respect, and understand where they're coming from, so they feel like they belong. Hence the whole Women of NASCAR thing that we started, was just so there's a hashtag for people to kind of, follow.
Right. And that's the thing, right? They're fans like both of you, and to, like I said, be able to share that and just say, screw it, let's make a podcast, because there are fans like us that love and live and die this sport. That's why, it's awesome to hear your perspectives and listen into your podcast. So again, I'm a big fan, and so
Thank you.
yeah. So let's keep it moving with
Okay.
women in NASCAR. We've just recently heard the whole Jennifer Jo Cobb saga, and to me that was ridiculous. And I'll share my thoughts first, and then I'll let both of you go. So the first thing that really upset me was just the transparency in NASCAR. It lacks transparency. For NASCAR, this story came out, before the Richmond race, and they pumped the story out. I'm sure NASCAR had a say in getting this story out. I mean, Rick Ware Racing is a small team, so they can't. They're not pumping all this publicity out themselves. And this was a big story. This was on SportsCenter. This was, at Bleacher Report. It was everywhere. You're telling me NASCAR didn't think for once, like, hey, maybe, regardless of what you think about their rules on who gets to drive in the Cup Series or not, which are bogus, and I'll get to that after. You should have at least came out and said, like, hey, we want Jen Jo Cobb to race in the Cup Series, but we do have a procedure. We have a set of rules that we abide by. So we're wishing her the best, but we do have to look through. No, nothing of that nature. And then just on the fact of, these rules that they have. I mean, have they seen some of the drivers in the sprint in the Cup Series that they send out? I mean, like, come on. She has plenty of experience. Her best finish is at a super speedway. She's had plenty of races. So it didn't make sense to me at all. And it's very frustrating. It's upsetting. So I want to hear both your thoughts.
So, okay. I agree with you. I think it's kind of unfair how it went about. Like you said, they sent out the information. They made this big thing. It was huge. Everyone was retweeting it, talking about it. Like you said, everyone's pumping it up. And then NASCAR's like, actually, no, never mind. It was just kind of backwards. They should have gotten the approval first before they announced anything. I think they should have, said, hey, they can tease it. Hey, big things coming. And then if it doesn't work out, then, down the line, say, hey, we were working on getting Jen here for the Cup race, but unfortunately due to this, she couldn't race. So hopefully in the future we can have her in the car and get her at a Cup race at another date, instead of, hey, she's gonna race, and then it's like she's
just
actually
kidding.
not. And that makes her feel like she looks stupid, even though it doesn't make her look stupid. I would, in her shoes, I'd feel embarrassed, being like, yay, I'm gonna do this, and it's like, no, I'm not. So
I agree. I think there's two balls dropped here. Rick Ware definitely dropped the ball. Should have gotten approval first. He made himself look kind of dumb by announcing this, making it this huge deal, everybody being excited about it, and then kind of like he owned up to it, was saying, we respect NASCAR's decision, but NASCAR dropped the ball too, because where are the rules on that?
Right.
Where is the list of things that say, okay, you must have this resume before getting in a Cup car? Because there's other people with less experience. I mean, and that makes no sense to me, especially some of the rookies in the past couple years, and especially now with no practice or qualifying. Like, that makes no sense. Why are they allowed in the car when she's not? It's the same thing to me.
To look at Harrison Burton this week is going to make his debut. He's raced like one season in the Xfinity Series, and I love Harrison. He's a very talented driver. He's going to be talented for a long time. But Jen Jo Cobb has years and years more experience than Harrison Burton. Absolutely. And another thing, like what besides NASCAR, like name another sport that you both are fans of.
I'm a big hockey fan.
Hockey. Okay.
I used to be into softball. or baseball because I played softball. I'm really not, well, football. I will say football, but I've kind of fell off a little bit in the last couple of years because the more I got into NASCAR and kind of a little bit of the drama, I switched over. But I'm a Giants fan. I'm originally from Long Island, so go Giants. And I did cheerleading in high school, but not high school cheerleading. It wasn't like sidelines. It was the competitive stuff that you go and you tour, like not tour, but you do different competitions. Sorry, my dog is barking.
Yeah, my girlfriend did the same thing. But so let's take football and hockey. Imagine if the Boston Bruins, I'm a Bruins fan, so I'll say the Bruins here. Yep, Deb, I know. I'm sorry. I'm a Bruins.
And it's Gino. There's her cat. He always makes an appearance.
Named my cat after a Penguins player. That's all.
So let's take So the Bruins draft this guy in the 3rd round, and they're excited. And then the NHL says, no, actually, no, you can't put him on your team because he doesn't have enough. They would never do that. That's not something that happens in another sport. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. I just found it absolutely bizarre. And
I think experience is 100% important in our sport, more so than other sports. Mm-hmm. There's less risk for fatality in, say, hockey. I mean, there is a risk, don't get me wrong, but there's less risk putting a rookie out on the ice than somebody in a car.
Which, let's be real, some teams, they take a rookie and they'll bench him for a game or, until they get experience. Their first year on the team, they're not going to put him out as a starter. They're going to wait until he proves himself. So, and that's where the experience comes into play, because it's like someone like Jen Jo Cobb, she's been sitting on the bench for years. And then you get Harrison Burton, who walks in and they're like, you know what, your last, not that the silver spoon comment, but your last name, let's go. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, because he's talented. He's a great racer. And there's a lot of There's a lot of drivers that do have that last name, even one to name, but they have the talent to back it up,
Especially now with no practice and no qualifying. I think it's more important now than it has been in any other season that you have people who are capable of handling restrictor plate racing in the restrictor plate races, because of how incredibly dangerous they can be. Now, if it was Jen Jo Cobb getting her started, like, say, Texas or Kansas or like any other track, you could, road course, you name it. Okay. Even some of the other people who have had their first starts, it's like throwing them to a pack of wolves and saying, good luck. Like, I think there needs to be practice if you're going to put a rookie in to a restrictor,
especially with the cup drivers.
Yeah, especially with cup drivers. There needs to be something in place for that. If they're going to even let it happen, they need to decide and create, or maybe make public. I'm sure they have some sort of guideline, but they need to make it public so that the fans can understand it more. I think there would be a lot less of an uproar over the situation. Maybe there's something in Harrison's resume that's different. I'm not sure. I don't follow Harrison closely enough to determine that.
Right.
But Jen Jo Cobb's career should speak for itself on that. I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
Why, and it needs to be more transparent.
And I agree. Here's the thing with transparency, like you're talking about, and there's another interesting topic, is people are also comparing it in a way to tonight with Keelan Harvick being in the iRacing Pro Invitational, because
Keelan can't kill anybody tonight though. Like,
but here's the thing, people put their, if they want to say the rules say it, there was the thing about the rules saying you can't be in the car under a certain age or on the rig, which personally I don't really care. It's cute, it's fun, whatever, but people are technically, they're not wrong. I mean, they're being a little picky, but I see where they're trying to draw a small comparison.
Isn't it supposed to be like you're supposed to be 13 to be on iRacing?
I thought it was, is it 8 or 13? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I believe it's, I believe it is
8? Okay.
He's 8?
I don't remember. Don't quote me.
8, I think.
Wow. 8. Oh my gosh. That's wild. I didn't know that. I know he's young, but.
Oh yeah, he's young.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it was such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, he seems talented, so good for Keelan there.
Yeah, true. So, it's like he gets to drive the cup drivers and Jen doesn't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So let's keep it moving. Now we'll go in just to current, and you said that you're a big Chase Elliott fan. So let's get into, this season. What are you expecting for a champion? Let's give your championship 4.
Okay. Oh, okay, good. I like it. Early and bold. We did this last season. We kind of went early and bold.
Okay.
For the season, for
Deb,
Chase,
I see you. I see you. You're thinking right there.
What I'm expecting out of Chase this season is what he's been doing the past couple of years. He's bumpy in the beginning, midway to the playoffs and beyond, he kicks it up, hits his stride and goes, which is fine. I would love to see him get a couple more wins in the beginning of the season, but at least I know he's consistent as far as developing the car. I don't think he's always, it seems they're not in a huge rush to get those wins because they know they're coming. They're just spending these races, especially the ones that are in the playoffs, figuring out how to tune the car best and all that stuff. So I'm not worried. I mean, yeah, each race I watch that he doesn't win, I'm like, but it's not like, I mean, it's coming. He's going to win. For my championship 4, I have to say Denny Hamlin. I hope he gets a win, but he is points leader. I say Denny Hamlin. I'm going to say Joey Logano, Truex. I would love to say Chase, but I think I'm going to give it to, who can I give it to? I'm going to say someone random, and I'm going to go with, I'm torn. I really don't know. It's too early. I'm in my head, my brain is saying Blaney.
Okay, that's fair.
Or Bell, just to be like a random. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see someone like Bowman or Byron in it. So those are my 4 for the last 4. I'm torn on the last position. So
that's good. No, that was good.
I think it's all B's: Bowman, Bell, Byron, and Blaney.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe that's a thing. It's a weird thing. I didn't even think of it that way. I don't know.
How about you, Deb?
Hamlin. Truex Jr. Brad Keselowski.
Ooh, okay. All right.
And Harvick.
Really?
I like it.
That's bold. I like it too. Obviously, we've seen the struggles early with Harvick. And Brad hasn't struggled. He very easily could have won the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Very easily. But so I wouldn't say Brad has struggled. He's been consistent. But yeah, I like that. Harvick and Brad, you don't see them possibly doing it. Right now through 9 races. But Brad will heat up. And I mean, Harvick, he has like a 15th fastest car sometimes, and he'll still get a top 5, which is just insane. It just shows you how good Kevin Harvick actually is. I am gonna go. So my championship pick, and I've been bold by this, is Kurt Busch.
Okay.
I think Kurt Busch is gonna heat up late.
I love it.
I saw a trailer that he teased his retirement.
When he was driving down on the 7 Mile Bridge. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was like, he's been consistent. And I think with the motivation behind retiring, I'm going to say Kurt Busch. I'm going to say Joey, Martin, and Denny. Kind of the 3 you would think of at this point, but then throwing Kurt Busch, and I think he's going to shock the world. I genuinely think so.
That'd be really cool, especially with the whole Kyle Busch not making it thing for the 2nd year in a row. That would be huge.
I don't think Kyle doing it this year either.
I don't either. I just he's
whatever.
Not got it. Barney the flag man.
Yeah, we're friends with Barney.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's really weird. Fun. Anyway, go on.
I see him now.
We like Barney the flag.
Shout out to Barney the flag man.
Shout out Barney. Shout out Barney. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, agreed. Kyle has struggled, and I do not see him. I actually can see him not even making the 8 again.
Yeah.
I really can, and it's sad.
He needs that practice to hone.
He does.
That's the only thing I can see saving Kyle is if the few races where they are having practice and qualifying, that he'll be able to get that feedback and then go and potentially capitalize on it. But he's also not had the best luck, so he gets caught up.
And with the qualifying format, that you have a bad race and you start at the back at a race that's not very easy to pass at, you're finishing bad again. Unless you're doing something crazy, you're finishing bad again. It just sets up this pattern. Start in the back, finish in the back, start in the back, finish in the back. You can't advance and you can't get any points if you're constantly stuck in the back.
And when you're in the back, you have a chance of getting caught up in the wrecks that happen in the back of the field. So that also increases your chance of not getting much further than a top 20 if you're lucky.
So this is a perfect segue now to starting in the back, maybe avoiding those wrecks, maybe getting in the big ones, if they happen towards the back. Talladega this Sunday, my favorite track by a mile.
Yeah.
Give me a Talladega win. I am going. Are you ready for this?
Go.
Ryan Preece.
Ryan Preece?
Ryan Preece.
That's a good, bold prediction. I'm here for it. I love it. He's not been bad.
I've been bold tonight on this, but I'm going to go.
It's good to be bold.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go Ryan Preece. Chrissy, you go.
I'm going to go Denny Hamlin or Chase Elliott.
Okay.
Not bold at all. And I'm not being safe. I'm just thinking Chase won Talladega when he was under pressure. And in the playoffs a couple years ago, and Denny's starting the pole. Denny's feeling pressure. He's leading the points, but he's also sweating that win. And Denny, we know Joe Gibbs period. If they don't have a win, they're like start getting antsy.
Yeah.
So.
Deb.
This is good. I have reasons. Daniel Suarez.
Yes.
I love that. I love it.
Doing
all right.
So well lately. He's had some bad luck towards the end of races. Otherwise, he's being consistent. He's getting.
Yep.
They're heating up. It seems like they've got great equipment. People are gonna not be afraid to work with him.
Yep.
I can totally see Daniel Suarez.
They know Daniel Suarez is not going to turn around and wreck anyone crazy or be reckless because he's trying to get to the front and get that win. He's got stuff to prove. So, and also on that note, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bubba getting up at the front. He's been good this season.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Corey
LaJoy is another one. LaJoy's another one who has had fast cars. He's just been unlucky sometimes. LaJoy's a good racer. He's
incredible.
Him and Ty Dillon, who I'm very upset is not in the Cup. They're two of the most underrated drivers. Yeah. I mean, they should be in the series. And LaJoy, this is where he shows up, is short tracks and super speedways. So I like that too.
Corey is a wonderful racer, and I think that his equipment this year has shown a little bit of that.
Yes, he's a stronger
human.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so as I see here on my upgrade to pro Zoom thing, we've got about 9 minutes left. So
it's a great number.
Right? Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Maybe a sign to come. Who knows? Maybe Chase will get that win. We'll see.
We'll see.
So we always end with a game on Johnny on the Track. And This is a game that I've never done before. We're debuting it. It's pretty popular on TikTok. It's popular on some podcasts. I don't really know like the name, so I just came up with the name. It's called Me or You. This is pretty funny because you two have said that you've never met in real life, but I'm sure like in the last year you've really grown to know each other. Is that fair?
We share a brain. We literally tell each other all the time that we share a brain. We're both Aquarius. We're like 10, 12, 20 days apart birthday wise. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, it's insane.
So
perfect.
Bring it on.
Yeah, this is perfect. So how the game works, pretty easy. I'm going to ask you a question. You're either going to point, is it me or is it you who's most likely to do this thing? Who's the more whatever, right? Just stuff like that. Okay. So question number 1, who is more organized?
Deb.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? You should see my house. I have children. I can't tell you how many Hot Wheels are on the floor right now.
So I was gonna say we got to add to how many you both agree on. So you're 0 for 1 here, but maybe you both are so kind to one another. You think you are both very.
I'm just
organized.
looking at my house in the background, and I'm like, look, she'll learn when we share a house in Charlotte. She's gonna get learned.
I'm looking right now, and your backgrounds are very organized, very clean looking. So I would have, done both points here.
Okay.
So here's the next question: who is the funniest?
No, I'm just kidding. No, we're both funny. We're both funny. I can't pick. I make myself laugh all the time, but Deb makes me laugh all the time too. So I think we're both hilarious.
So you're 0 for 2 on picking one person, but you're 2 for 2 on sharing the love.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not doing that because we're trying to be nice. I just genuinely mean it.
Okay, I think this one maybe we'll get a concrete answer.
Okay.
Who talks the most? All right, there it is. All right, so there's one. So we're 1 for 3, 2 for 3, however you wanna look at it.
Sure.
Who? This is funny. Who is the most likely to have a terrible night out at the bar?
Can we say both of us at the same time?
Yes,
Because I
that's
feel
fair.
like in Charlotte there might be a rough time.
Okay,
I feel like we would both just influence each other.
Yeah,
that's fair.
we're enablers. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
So
look, I
both-
literally twisted her arm to get her to join a podcast with someone she doesn't know. And then I had to try even harder to get her to move into a house with me and my kids for a week. So who's really, who's the influencer here?
That could be saying a lot. But
Well, and I'm coordinating our outfits.
So there's
There
your
you go.
organized question. She's the
Okay.
organized one. And then there's
Okay.
your bad night question. This is
All right.
like, let's do shots. It's fine.
we will see when obviously time will tell on
Yes.
on that question.
It's gonna be a good time.
Who is the most fun? Who would you think would be the most fun? See, this is a tough question, but who's the most fun to watch a race with? Who's going to bring the noise, the energy?
I feel like we are both like this is hard because we're
Yeah,
so
this is-
similar. I feel like we're both
I know,
gonna be screaming
yeah.
at the
It
TV.
would be hard for
Um,
me to say, like, because
My
we
dog is pretty loud because he gets mad when we start yelling at the TV and he starts barking.
We could say the dog.
watch races together sometimes, and like we're both hyped. So
Yeah,
But
you're-
we're also the funny thing is we're also like if there's something real important going on and we're like FaceTiming or Zoom, like we're both like dead silent, like
Yeah.
just together at the same time.
yeah, we
That's
don't even
awesome.
talk, we're just like looking at the TV, like
Yeah. I just love when you can sit there in silence and be okay.
That's right. That is true love. That's true. That is true love. How about who is most likely to win in a go-kart race?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with me.
yeah, I raced 4-wheelers, not cars.
Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair. So there we go.
This is the
We've
dog,
got
by
a
the way.
There's
Here's
the dog.
Paxton. This is
Hi,
Paxton.
Paxton. How are
We have
you?
the same dog. Mine's
We do
just
have the
black.
same dog, just by the way. Hers is brown.
Okay, there we go. I
Fun
mean,
facts.
I should have asked who has the best dog, and then you both could have pointed at each other. The same dog.
Yeah. For
All
sure.
right. Final one. I hope you guys know each. Maybe you don't, but maybe you do know each other's music taste. Who's
Oh,
got-
Oh,
we
yeah.
Okay.
We share playlists to each other all the time.
Yeah, we both have iPhones, so we literally make playlists for each other and then send them. And we're like, listen to this one.
So
And then
who
we
has the
do.
better music taste?
We have the same music
Same?
taste. Like,
Okay.
she literally sent me a playlist, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this song. And I'm going through it, then I'm like, oh, I never would have thought to listen to this song. I love that. And she'll do the same thing. I send it to her, and she's like, I forgot about this song. It's so funny. It's legit weird. It's crazy.
You two. I mean, it seems like you're like long lost sisters or something,
Pretty
or
much.
what, sisters in a former life. I don't know, something
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
Spirit
Quick.
animal.
Let me ask you quick. What is your go-to like playlist? What kind of music are we listening to here?
Well, it's a little bit of rock, a little bit
Okay.
of hip hop, and a little bit of country, probably.
That's great.
Some rap, like
She's everything.
yeah.
I mean,
like
I am too. I can't tell you. Like my playlist right now, I've got Taylor Swift, and Linkin Park. Okay, my main
Oh,
bands:
great.
Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin, Shine Down, Backstreet Boys. I can't help it.
Nice.
And then I'm like into this girl group from England, Little Mix, but they are badass. And so I
Okay.
have everything too. I'm not huge into country. I like certain country artists, but yeah, this morning
and
was
I'm
all
more
Linkin Park.
of- I like the like Shine Down. I like Five Finger Death Punch. I like old Eminem, not new Eminem.
Oh,
I
yes,
agree.
old Eminem. I used to know all the words to the real, well, not the real Slim Shady, The Way I Am. I used to
We
think I was
just
Ah,
wrapped
yes.
that a couple weeks ago on Zoom. Or no, it's been a month, but yeah, we
yeah, the real Slim Shady. We did that too.
yeah, oops.
I'll have to listen in. Where can I
No,
find
I don't
that?
think we shared that
I don't
one.
think we shared that one. That
Oh,
one might
no.
have been,
No,
hang
no,
out.
no, no, no.
Well, those are good.
listen to more country.
I like all that. I'm old hip hop. I love Eminem. I love country. I've been to way too many country concerts.
Yes.
Way
many.
too many. Yes, yes.
So
And
many. I've seen so many people.
it's insane. I don't even know. That's a lot of where my money's went in the past.
Yes.
Concerts and NASCAR races, that's where you'll find me, or hockey games.
That's a good. That's
live like
that's
2 hours
perfect.
from Pittsburgh, so it's like an easy drive up, drive back thing.
Yeah.
That is perfect. And sadly, we are running out of the time.
That's okay. We'll just do it again.
Yes,
It was
we will.
fun.
Deb,
For sure.
Chrissy, thank you so much for coming on Johnny on the Track. And I wish you all the best of luck. And yeah, thank you so much.
Of
Thanks
course.
for
Have a
having
great
us.
night. Thanks for having us.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.